everyone. It is Thursday, I tell you. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. How are you tonight? What is happening in your world this Thursday? That's what we want to know. Tell me about your day. Tell me about your day and what you are grateful for this Thursday night. That is what we want to know. How is your Thursday? I'm glad to have you all here tonight. It is whoa, I lost my coaster. My Resale World coaster slipped. I have a slipping coaster. Hey, Florida Angie, how are you tonight? It is great to have you here tonight. Glad to know you're doing well. Glad to know the gator hasn't eaten you yet. I don't know. That gator's going to get big, Angie. I'm just saying. Hey, Dell and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it is treat time. Treat time, I tell you. Your favorite time of the day, Dazzle. Hello, Kitty. How are you? Great to have you here. What's everybody grateful for this Thursday night? We had a busy day of sales. We did. They were ringing the register today. I like that. A little cooler, so that helped clothing sales. These are not bad things. These are not bad things when the register is ringing. We are good with that. We do like that. But what is good in your world? What are you grateful for? He'll be your entertainment for a while, the little alligator. He ain't gonna stay little for long, Angie. He's not gonna stay little for long. Molly, how are you? Great to have you here. Great to have you here. I loved your costume, Molly, for Halloween. You and Eric were great. That looked like a lot of fun. I hope Jen told you about my new drink, the fall drink that we're doing here in the Northeast. Still very incoming. Yeah, we had a lot going on today with that. You know, we're really working things at processing, trying to get through as much stuff as we can, especially before we go away. And we're really, Cassandra and I are really trying to help that end, especially more Cassandra than I. I'm trying to stay out of the way. But it is the overall number. It's up there. So, but we're keeping on top of it. And that brings more register ringing. The more, it's what I've been telling you. Keeping those inventory levels in a good spot is going to help all of that register ringing and keeping those registers humming, which is what I love. I love when your registers are humming. The hum of the register, the ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching of the register. I love that. We are broadcasting tonight, folks, on both Facebook and YouTube. We are broadcasting on. So if there's any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. Same Neil, just over here, over there, 2 cameras, sending me out into the metaverse, I guess, into whatever that universe is out there. You get me both ways. Cassandra's got the link there for you in the Facebook comments. Ooh, I have no glasses here. Hang on a second. Over at my desk where I have been all day, except for when I took a big walk. I went for a big walk. I'm like, I had a lot of reading that I had to do today, and I'm like, I'm starting to doze. I'm like, let me go outside for a minute. I'll go get the mail, and then that turned into a whole walk. So I got some steps in today, although I didn't have my watch on to get them recorded. Well, it's a whole combination of things, Molly, on the incoming. But you can't sell what you don't have. And It is keeping it turning, and keeping your quality standards high. Keeping it turning and keeping your quality standards high is what that's all about. Where am I today? Tonight we start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we start. And tonight we're on page 70. Good morning. I wish you clarity today. Clarity of thought, clarity of expression, and a direct line between what you feel and what you do about it. What to do about it. I'll also add with that, Molly, that where's my eye cleaner here? The other part that I'll add real quick, because I wasn't going to make this a whole inventory thing tonight, is especially with supply chain this year, this is a great opportunity this holiday season. Okay, and especially where you are, you're way away from the supply chain where you are. To have things that people want that they can't get anyplace else. And I know it's a balancing act between space, between sales, between staffing, and I know that it is a complete balancing act. But if you've got the inventory on your shelves, you have a unique opportunity this holiday season to really explode your sales. And so I leave that thought with you there in the background. What do we got here from Simon tonight? Now that I've cleaned my glasses. We achieve more when we chase the dream instead of the competition. How about that? We do that well in this group. We achieve more when we chase the dream instead of the competition. That's our quote from Simon tonight. I love this. This is great. Okay, this is great, people. Zoom, they don't own the name Zoom. They didn't own the trademark to Zoom, and they finally ponied up to this company who owned it and paid a little over $4 million to buy the trademark to Zoom. Now they trademark Zoom. Now Zoom owns the trademark to Zoom. I love that. I might have tried to hold out for a little more money. I mean, the patent and trademark office that actually turned Zoom down, they had tried to trademark things for a while, get any variation of Zoom, and the patent and trademark office kept on denying them and lawsuits over it, trying to do it, and they finally ponied up $4 million for it. So now they own the rights to the word Zoom. And speaking of the holidays, the ho, 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 okay, if you think it's too early, I actually had one of my managers ask the other day about turning on the Christmas music. And they did ask about that the other day. But the Mall of America's got the Christmas decorations up. They will all be up by this weekend at Mall of America in Minnesota. So, it is not too early to put people in the holiday cheer, I guess. I think we normally go at Thanksgiving, but I think we compromised, at least in that location, on just after Veterans Day, I think. I forget. I think they're going to have their Christmas window up just after Veterans Day, and we said maybe we'd do it then, the Christmas music. But you can get the if you have Sirius XM, if you have satellite radio, all the holiday channels are there now. You can get holiday instrumentals, Holly, Hallmark Christmas music, holiday traditions, Jolly Christmas, Country Christmas, Holiday Soul, Christmas Spirit, Holiday Pops, Rockin' Christmas, the Hanukkah channel. I mean, I didn't know there were that many. I didn't realize there were that many channels. The Mall of America is closer to the North Pole. That's true, and they owe more than you and I. They owe a lot more. They had already owed a lot on that mall, and then they borrowed more against the mall that they built in New Jersey. That is they need a heck of a Christmas season. this year. So, and quite honestly, all businesses do. I mean, the simple cost of doing business is so much higher than it was just a couple of years ago that, I want everybody to have a holly jolly season. And that's not just because I'm wearing red tonight. I'm not just, just happened to be the color when I was talking about it. In not shocking news, Wayfair's sales have plummeted nearly 20% as consumers have shifted their spending habits. Their customer base has active customers has technically grown, but and they lost $70 million in the quarter. $70 million. Again, their model is not for the long term. The only reason they made money was during the pandemic. It was the only time. And they will not make money again. Okay, they will not. That is my prediction. They might through some accounting tricks, but they lost $70 million in the quarter. I mean, how do you lose seven? I can help them look between the couch cushions. I mean, it's not hard to figure out why they're losing money. Okay, it's not. You don't have to be an economist, a rocket scientist, or anything to figure out when your acquisition costs per customer and your cost of delivery are so high. It is crazy. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Great to have you here after yoga. I'm glad you got your yoga in. Glad to email with you today. And hopefully you're on the right track there. The world's most popular department store. And why does this matter? Okay, the Macy's is the world's most popular and most searched. This is the key to this. This is most search engine department store. So Macy's, Nordstrom. Then you get into this is a world based on worldwide searches. Then you get Selfridges in London and Harrods in London, followed by Bloomingdale's at number 5 and number 6. Okay, that matters. Okay, think about that. Macy's and Nordstrom are the most searched department stores. Okay, what does that do for your product mix? Okay, and keep in mind, their supply chain becomes your supply chain down the road. Remember, you only want these things, and we want them to get good supply chain, but so that you have a good supply chain. Because you don't want them getting too much out of season stuff that they dump on the aftermarket cheap. Okay, because we got to keep your prices high too. So, think of how you can use that in your keyword searches and other things online. Okay, the fact that Macy's and Nordstrom's are the top most searched, how does that fit into your marketing? And keep in mind, both of them offer furniture and other things, even if your local store doesn't have it. They have it online. They have it available in certain stores. And so even if you're not clothing, the whole idea of the department store is multiple departments, okay? Selling multiple different kinds of things. It's not all clothing. I know a lot of minds, they hear Macy's or Nordstrom, they think clothing. It's not all clothing. And so it is multiple things, multiple markets. And how can you use that in your own marketing strategy? And that is why I talk about it. 3,363 jobs are available at this company in Massachusetts. Any guesses on what the company is? Any guesses on? I know it's Thursday night and I'm not supposed to trivia you too much. But any guesses on who is hiring, who has that many job opportunities at one company across multiple locations? I won't make you wait too long for it. It's the Golden Arches. McDonald's has 3,363 openings in Massachusetts. I actually thought that was low. I actually thought that was low when I heard that. But when you think about that and you think about that's low, okay, if you think that's low, some of you might think that's high. I mean, I don't have on offhand how many locations McDonald's has in Massachusetts to say how many that is per location. But to me that's a low number because of things that they're doing to continue to automate and work with less staff and be able to run the restaurants with less people. Because and we have to take lessons from that. You have to take lessons from that of how you can become more efficient, get more with less payroll hours. Yeah, McDonald's is doing automated checkout. They've contracted IBM to develop artificial intelligence for their drive-throughs. I mean, they are working on how do we do more with less people? How can we operate that restaurant with less people? And that is what we all have to be working on because that's the reality of things. Okay, how do we operate with a little less? How do we operate with a little less? Today, our friends at OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, finally issued its long-awaited emergency temporary standard requiring employers with more than 100 employees to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine for employees. Employers will need to fully assess their workforce to determine who is and who is not vaccinated by December 5th. So between now and December 5th, all employers with 100 or more employees must survey their workforce and find out who is and who isn't vaccinated. By December 5th, they are required to impose a mask mandate for unvaccinated employees. And they are required to establish time off policies for employees to receive the vaccine by December 5th and create a weekly testing regime for unvaccinated employees by January 4th. Okay, all of that needs to happen by between December 5th, between now and December 5th, and then again by January 4th to enforce this standard from OSHA. So this is the law of the land. It's the law of the land on 100 or more employees. If you have more than 100 employees, okay, across anywhere in your workforce, the only carve out is if your entire workforce is remote and doesn't go anywhere that they would interact with another employee or customer. So if you have an entirely remote workforce that does not go into an office, does not come together for anything, and does not get in person with any customers, then they would be exempt. Okay, this is important, not because you are out there, the people watching the show tonight are out there with 100 or more employees, because overwhelmingly I don't have that audience, okay? But what it is important for is because now OSHA is looking at comments on how they can apply it to companies with less than 100 employees, okay? And what are the issues with applying it to less? They haven't said they're going to, but they're taking comments on it now. And honestly, that is one of the things that OSHA is going to get sued on, is that they haven't applied it to every employer in the United States. So that's one of the facets of this. Our friends at the National Retail Federation, have issued the following statement, and I'm going to read it to you because they're a little disappointed in the way this was done. Over the past 19 months, retailers across the country have taken extraordinary measures to keep their employees, customers, and communities safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. As part of these efforts, retailers have distributed, encouraged, incentivized, and in some instances mandated the vaccine. Since the president's announcement of the vaccine mandate for private industry, the 7-day average number of cases in the United States has plummeted by more than half. Nevertheless, the Biden administration has chosen to declare an emergency and impose burdensome new requirements on retailers during the crucial holiday shopping season. As an industry that supports 1 in 4 American jobs, retailers have consistently requested that the administration take public comment on this new vaccine mandate. Last month, the National Retail Federation met with the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs and stressed the importance of feasibility of implementation for employers. It is critical that the rule not cause unnecessary disruption to the economy, exasperate the pre-existing workforce shortage, or saddle retailers who are already taking considerable steps to keep their employees and customers safe with needless additional requirements and regulatory burdens. And the National Retail Federation also sent a detailed letter to the Labor Secretary, former Boston Mayor Marty Walsh, outlining the industry's concerns, and sent a letter to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. So our friends at the National Retail Federation are on this for companies big and small. They're watching it. But this train has left the building, on this. And they're there's going to be things out there. Interestingly enough, the Business Journal papers, which is a conglomerate around the country, ran a scientific poll with a research firm, 7Letter, and workers believe, and this is across all industries, not just retail, workers believe that mandatory vaccine policies not only help them feel safer at work, but also that such a mandate is more important than even such safety measures as active shooter protocols or a fire escape plan. 65% said the vaccine mandate would make them feel much more safe at work. That's more than double the number who indicated a mask mandate alone would make them feel more safe, and nearly double the number who said the same about an active shooter protocol. People were 2.5 more times more likely to want vaccine mandates than casual Fridays. 2.5 times more likely to want a vaccine mandate than casual Fridays in the poll. So there you go from that perspective. So a lot going on in that. Yeah, an awful lot. I still believe in the vaccine. I've gotten all 3 shots. I've gotten everybody in the house has. So everybody in my house has. I can't say the same about everybody in my workforce, but I can say that about everyone in the house. So I am thankful for that, and I'm thankful that we have remained healthy throughout this pandemic, and especially as we get ready to travel again. Okay, so lastly tonight, I have the employee retention credit. I have this handy dandy little sheet on the employee retention credit, which will go up to NART's private Facebook group within the hour. It'll be over at narts.org /resale strong by noon tomorrow. narts.org /resale strong by noon tomorrow. There are 2 components to this sheet. The first is, how do you check on the status of your employee retention credit? It gives you the phone number to call for your friends at the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, it tells you what buttons to press once the automated attendant answers the phone. You press 1 for English or 2 for Spanish. And then after it gets through the next set of questions, you're going to hit option 3 for employment or payroll tax questions. If it is a long wait, the automated system does one of 2 things. It will either give you the option to get a call back, okay, and it will confirm the number that you are dialing from, and you will get a call from a 304 area code, or it may say that our call volume is so high right now that it disconnects you. If you get one of those, our call volume is too high, call back in 5 minutes, you'll get through. Okay, there's a couple things to keep in mind when you get a hold of somebody at the IRS. What are you trying to find out? What you're trying to find out is you're asking the status of your employee retention credit, and you have to ask you're asking for the status of your 941X, okay, your 941X by quarter, okay? So if you had the 3rd and 4th quarter of 2020 plus the 1st quarter of 2021, I'm trying to check on the status of my 941X for these 3 quarters. What you are hoping for is that you are in the system. In the system is good. In the system is great. Okay, if you are in the system. If you are not in the system, okay, and you sent it a long time ago, they will probably instruct you to resend your 941X. Okay, is probably what they will instruct you to do. If you are in the system, things are moving along, but they aren't moving along as fast as many people would like. And the reason that is, okay, treat the person that you get on the phone. And I know this goes without saying to this group because we have the nicest group of people that watch and are members of NARTS and are just good business people. Treat the person at the IRS really nice and kindly, okay? Be gentle with them. They get crapped on, for lack of a better term, all day long. All day long, people call to yell at them. So if you are sweet and nice to these people, they will be sweet and nice to you. Okay. You are not too late to submit for 2020. You have 2 years to submit from the time you submitted your original 941. You have 2 years from when you initially filed your original 941 for that quarter. Okay. If you're in the system, things are moving along. But what happened? Why are things moving slowly? Well, that's another issue of Congress, because this money that the IRS, which is really the Treasury of the United States, is subject to the debt limit. Okay, this is money Congress has already spent, Congress has already allotted, but Janet Yellen has to sit every day and figure out what bills she's paying and what bills she's not paying. And so as the debt limit is only extended for another month here, basically, the debt ceiling for the government, she has people that figure out what bills we're going to pay today and what bills we're not. I mean, that's just cash. That is managing the government's cash every day. And these payments are part of that. So you could get a payment for 1 quarter and not see another quarter for 8 weeks, okay, even though you're in the system. But the real key is being in the system. If you are not in the system, you want to get to being in the system. Okay, and that may require you to resend it. But this will confirm that. Okay, you will be able to confirm that by calling these people. They're great. I have tested it. They're really fabulous. Just treat them with great kindness. You will need your tax ID number. You will need, they may ask you some other verifying information about your business, such as when you were incorporated or when did your business start. Just general information about your business to make sure that they're talking with an actual person that is authorized to discuss this. But they are fabulous. The second part of this sheet, and I know I did this all in one sheet, so I was trying to be efficient, one download for you, is how to record when you get a check. When you get a check from the government for the ERC, and again, they mail you a check. They mail you a physical piece of paper in the mail. When you get one, how do you enter that in QuickBooks? And so the second part of this sheet explains how to enter it in QuickBooks. Okay? And it's important that you keep a copy of this check for your records. Keep a copy of this check, because this check will also include interest. Okay, because the government isn't paying you on time, like we just said, they're picking and choosing who they're paying. So they will include interest on your check. And it will say so right on the check. It will say what quarter you're getting the payment for, and it will tell you how much that you're getting in interest. The interest needs to be recorded as interest income. The check needs to get recorded with the right quarter, okay, to reduce your payroll expense for that period of time. And I spell that all out on this sheet. It's simple. I'm happy to take questions on it after you take a look at it. So if you have questions on it, come back at me tomorrow night, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. It's not that hard. I'm guessing most of you will not ask the question until you get the check, and that's fine. That's fine. The file will be over at narts.org/resalestrong. And you can go, and whenever you get the check, you'll say, hey, Neil, there was a file you said. And yes, it'll be right over at narcs.org/resale strong, so you can find it. And, you can record it correctly, because the employee retention credit reduces your payroll expense. You cannot claim the expense of the payroll that you use the employee retention credit for as a payroll expense. And so the way that I have you enter it in QuickBooks reduces that, so you don't mess that up. So you keep your books straight, so you keep your accountant straight, and that you'll be all good and kosher. Trying to keep it simple, people. As much as I can make government stuff simple, I am doing it. And I've been, I've spent a good part of my day as part of a project I'm working on business to government social marketing. Okay, if you want to talk a weedy topic, how do you market to the government via social? Okay, that talk about eyes glazed over today. I mean, and dry and boring. That was part of what I worked on today. That is part of what I worked on today. So we'll get you through it. You got any questions, you know what to do. Just email me. You know what else to do is this video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to narcs.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. All the files, all the links, all the references, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell. Ring that bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with all of your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody make it across to the other side. I'm here every night at more 8 than ish live in the NARCS private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube. That's where you find me. But if you have a question in between, just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. That's how we roll every night. But if you have a question, but if you were not here at the top of the program, we're on page 70. 70, I tell you. Our good morning is, good morning. I wish you clarity today. Clarity of thought, clarity of expression, and a direct line between what you feel and what you do about it. Our is good night. I wish you clarity tonight. Clarity of self, clarity of purpose, and a direct line between who you want to be and how to get there. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. It's time for dessert.